one of these days.
Hello, I'm Pam Hoffman, Everyday Spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 6 a.m. on Saturday in Germany. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to kick this off with saying kudos to the Inspiration 4 all civilian crew. What a great day Wednesday was when we got to watch 4 civilians launch in a SpaceX spacecraft for the very first time. No astronauts, no hyper-trained right stuff folks, just 4 regular folks. Yay, everyday spacers!
I guess you don't need a PhD to ride to be a passenger. But, okay. September 18th is our 1-year anniversary, and since that's tomorrow, and we're not doing our show tomorrow, actually, we never do our show tomorrow.
Well, we'd like to thank people who have been with us from the beginning. That's Rodine Eastfeld, Marie Hernandez, Elizabeth Strager,
David Renecki, Michael Taylor, Cliff Watson,
Larissa Riley, Sandy Topliff, Bianca J., Christina Ellis, Jared Ellis, and a few folks that were with us once or twice.
Janie Wilson, Heather Archuleta, and Kylie Sadler.
Also, Nada Masood, Shonda Wolston, Inara Tabir,
Tom Klein, Alan Ford, Pallavi Mullick,
Joe Gillen, Dustin Bradford, Louisa Janess. She was also a guest, too.
Lynn O'Halloran, Brian Wentworth, and people who found us more recently, Seth Potter, Tex Pipkey, Tex, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Dr. Gibberish.
Hey, Cliff, one of our long-term watchers. Awesome. Thanks so much.
And our first guest.
Yeah, he was our first guest. That's right. Thanks for being here with us. Let's see. Who else do we want to say thank you to? Daniel Tweed, Michelle Joy Del Rey, Splash Autumn,
Ron Russell, Chris J. Kent, Tracy Allen, and Science Actually.
We don't know your name, but thanks for joining us. And some family has stopped by on occasion. Thank you, Marie. We have been so blessed to have your patronage, and we hope you'll enjoy the shows coming up. We have some interesting guests in the wings. And tonight's topic is Radio Galaxy Zoo Lofar. We'll be back in 6.8 seconds. Jeff looked at this project, so he will show you around and demonstrate how you can contribute to this great work, too. Go ahead, Jeff, take it away.
Okay, you gonna share screen?
Sure.
Okay. Tonight's is Radio Galaxy Zoo Lofar, and it's, of course, Project Universe, so this should be very familiar with anyone who's been watching any of our shows about citizen science. With the main title, About, Classify, Talk, Collect, Recent. This is all stuff that you've seen before on here. And this is to help astronomers locate and identify supermassive black holes and star-forming galaxies. I don't know, it just seems to me that if you want to find a supermassive black hole, look for a galaxy, draw a crosshairs on it, where the middle of it is, and there it is. But they want to train their computers to do it. And you'll see images like this, although there are more images than just this. And there's a tutorial. There's, all the normal stuff you see.
The typical Zooniverse project.
Yeah. It's currently 22% complete, which is weird because about a month ago when I first spotted this for our first non-guest slot. Oh, Pip Key. Okay,
yeah,
thanks.
Cliff says it's Pip Key.
Okay.
Thank you, Cliff. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. So a month ago, when I first looked at this, it said 48% complete. So I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to still be available when we finally get to it. Because one of them died, one of them got completed like 2 days before our show. So we had to scramble and find something else. But then a couple weeks ago, it was 42%. Now it's 22%.
So they must be adding things.
Yeah. I would imagine that they're adding a lot of stuff to it.
Okay, cool.
Because, they have the number of subjects and classifications. And if those numbers were lower before, I have no clue. My memory isn't that good. And what's it about? The Lofar Project offers us an unprecedented view of our skies. It's basically low frequency radio telescopes.
Right. Low frequency array is what LOFAR, the low frequency array, LOF and then AR from the three different words. Low frequency, LOFAR.
Yeah. And so they've been scanning the night sky, and they just decided to look at this data for finding the supermassive black holes.
Cool.
And I'm imagining that this data is constantly coming in, which is why the completion numbers are going down.
So don't they mention a little bit about what the whole idea of this project is right there too, what you've got it showing?
Yeah. In order to prepare this data for effective research, we need to make an inventory of everything that we are seeing. And the first data set produced by the Lofar survey contains about 300,000 different sources.
Wow. Okay.
And the second data set will contain more than 4 million. We're probably on the second data set now, since they're adding stuff here, unless they're still adding stuff from the first set. But
so there's plenty left to do. That's the whole point there.
Yeah, and much of this can be done automatically with algorithms, but what they're doing here is having us check the algorithms and and basically help them make the algorithms better by pointing out things that don't belong or should belong.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to beat, what people can do with their, everyday brains as opposed to what computers.
And what a group of people can do, because that's one of the things is that they have multiple people looking at at each image.
Right.
And so it's, and if people disagree, then they look at it closer.
Yeah, they get the experts in on that, and they actually, right.
Yeah, and they also are working with ESCAPE, which is European Science Cluster of Astronomy and Particle Physics.
Oh, neat.
Research. Okay, yeah. So
I always like to know who the groups are involved with.
Yeah, and they're mentioning who gave them their grants, and Lofar-surveys.org is you can get more information on the Lofar stuff. Yeah, that's not what you.
I don't have that there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, what are we looking for?
Ooh, pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures. The one on the left, you won't see.
No.
That's that's a nice Hubble image.
Well, they said it's an artist concept drawing, right?
Yeah.
And Cliff wants to chime in with more of a better selection base of ideas. Do you know what he's referring to? Cliff, tell us what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the comment. We want to know more.
Yeah. The image on the right is one of the shots that we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual
But
image.
that's not the main shot that we'll see. It is a shot that's available, but it's not the main one that we see. This is more like what we'll see. And the yellow contour lines, and they don't really show up well here as contour lines, but later on I'll show you one that has it better. But the yellows are contour lines, basically showing the amount of, kind of like where contour lines show elevation, these are the intensity of the radio signal.
Okay.
And so we're using this plus the previous image to find the lobes that are the jets that are shot off by the supermassive black hole.
There it is. The more the merrier to work out what it is. Absolutely. The crowdsourcing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cliff. Really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, so here we go. This is closer to what you'll see a lot of the time. Now, this is an odd one because the way it, and there's a tutorial that'll go through this too, but the solid line here, or the solid circle, this is what the computer says is the source galaxy. And
yeah, not quite.
well, no, it might be. And
okay.
These are the lobes shut off from. Now, the reason why it could possibly not be lined up completely is, for one thing, the source galaxy could be moving at a high speed. For another, is that we could be looking at this mostly head on.
Oh, right.
If you notice, one's bigger than the other, so the other one might be behind.
Well, they're different kind of shapes too.
Right. But so it's possible that that galaxy is moving quickly to the left and toward the top.
Okay.
So don't expect to find the source always in the middle. It could be outside of it.
Like that first picture with the jets. It's may or may not be like. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's kind of like the ideal.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And that's why we have to check the computer. So getting started.
Oh, here's a good question. Lofar. I looked that up and they said, let's see, where did they say? It's an international, in the Netherlands. It's an international telescope started as a national project in the Netherlands. Consortia of institutes and researchers in several other countries soon placed orders to build one or more Lofar antenna stations there. The enormous range of distances between the stations yield unique capabilities for detailed images of the sky. So it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of scattered.
Yeah, I think it says in there somewhere 9 countries. Hey, hi, Marie.
Hi, Marie. Thanks for joining us. I know it's late there.
Yeah, but as I'm pretty sure that they're using
Interferometry?
Yes, that one.
Okay. Got it.
So, now here's there's a tutorial video.
Right. Yes.
Show them the link.
Yep, I have that right here. And
yeah,
I will grab it too in a second and put it into the chat.
Yeah.
Which should make it a clickable link for you if you want to look at it later or follow along right now. So
yeah, and the tutorial video does a very good job of explaining how to do this, which may or may not be a better job than I'm doing, which probably is.
Well, it's really nice to see a demonstration of it. Okay, Here's that link. And it should be clickable for you now because I put it into the chat for you. But yeah, I mean, even just to see it first, gives us an idea. So go for it.
So this
should be good.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the tutorial. Like the standard, there's always the welcome on the tutorials. So nothing really, useful there. But here they're talking about contour lines and the ellipses that their computer puts in. And also the tutorial video goes into a lot of detail about what all the buttons here do, which kind of, you'll be using the ones in the center bottom.
Yeah, this one's a little more involved than most of them, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't take special equipment. It doesn't.
No.
Basically,
it's still relatively, easy to figure out. It's just, it's a little more involved than most of them are.
Right, but it's not.
But that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, here is kind of a typical one. What you're looking at, this is the center galaxy. This is where the source is. These are the lobes. That's an easy one to do.
Alrighty.
But they're showing the contour lines. And one of the things that you want to look at is not all of the sources are associated with this, with the center one. Sometimes you'll see a source out here, which is just another radio galaxy, another radio source out there. And so what we'll be doing is marking each ellipses that's associated with the center one.
Okay.
And, they go into more detail. Okay, marking ellipses. And here's one where they marked it. This is kind of scrolled off because I was trying to get as much of the text as I could. But here's one where they marked one as part of this one. And I'll show you better images later. And here, difficult cases. If you notice, it's not centered. Okay, that's... but in the field guide, which I didn't show here because there's lots of images there.
There's a lot in the field guide this time.
Yeah. So just, if you're doing this, just look through it. But that tutorial video goes through almost everything you'll need to see.
Cool.
Every once in a while, the computer really goofed up and you have to just not mark anything because let's say all three of these are different source galaxies. Well, then these two are not associated with that, so you just leave it blank.
Okay.
And there's on the third screen of it, you can tell them what the problem is with the image.
Ah, okay.
And source marker. There you go. If you notice, for some reason they marked this as the center.
This is the computer doing that, right?
Yeah, this is the computer.
So the computer's kind of off here, it looks like.
So these are all four of these are associated with it. This one is not. In fact, they're usually red when they're not associated. There's usually a red dot in there somewhere if it's not associated, but just look and see. And there's other way. You don't have to rely just on this image. And I'll show you, when I'm doing a bunch, I'll show you the different images that you can see on it.
Okay.
And then task 2, marking where you see the galaxy.
So there's several steps to this process.
Right.
Okay.
And
cool.
if you notice, here is just a really messy image with, something's wrong. These are just not this is just a field of radio sources, and they're not associated. It's not a supermassive black hole with its jets, which is what they're looking for. So you just don't mark anything, and then you tell them at the end.
Okay.
And here you go. Artifact. This is what you see, and that's what that one was, where it's just noise, and so they're marking noise. A blend is 2 or more unique radio sources.
Okay.
2 zoomed in. Let's say you're only looking at part of a lobe. Well, you can't really do much with that, so you tell them 2 zoomed in. Image missing. There's usually 3 images that you can look through for each source. And usually it's the optical image, which you're not seeing in these, is missing. And that makes it very hard to do anything with. So you mark it there so that they know that there's a problem with the data.
Okay.
Because there's supposed to be an optical image there. And,
this sounds a little bit like a first sort after the computer has had its way with the data.
Yeah, we're doing multiple things here. We're checking the computer, make sure it did its thing. Checking the data to see if there's anything missing.
Okay.
And if I would imagine that if you mark other, there's going to be multiple people looking at it as they're trying to figure out what's wrong with it.
Well, and that's when they call the experts when there's discrepancies. Okay.
So, and then the standard, you're finished with the tutorial. So here we are. This is the first one that I came across, and there's a source right here. There's a whole bunch of these. Now, all of these are actually look like they may be part of it, and this is the actual image here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you see, this is the second image. If you notice that back here, there's 3 dots here. And that's the way each of these looks. So we'll go back here. And so this is what it looks like. And if you notice, there's all other things marked off to the sides, but they're obviously not part of the same thing. So this is probably one lobe. This is another. But this is probably the actual galaxy, which has been moving. So, so this is the center of the whole mess, but the galaxy's not there anymore. So marking all of the ones that are associated with this solid ellipse, because a solid ellipse is what the computer picked as the center. And then you just mark all of the dashed ellipses that are part of it. So I did not mark the 2 on either end at the top. And this is the component selector. These are components of the main image. Okay. And so galaxy host selector. Well, that big bright spot is most likely the galaxy.
Okay.
So I marked that, and it's hard to see on here because it's marked right next to the mark for the ellipse. But this marking is red instead of blue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I said, hard to see.
There's no way to zoom in either. I don't think
there is, but
there is. Okay.
Not on the image that I just created. Yeah, because this is just
right. But it's in the project.
Yeah, you can zoom in.
Because these are just screenshots that we're sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and so this is the third screen where if there was something wrong, you would mark what was wrong.
Okay.
So maybe I wouldn't have marked any of the components and said something about artifact or blend or too zoomed in or something like that. But in this case, it's fairly clear what everything is. So, and then here's another one. It's a bit messier. And looking at it, well, this looks like a whole bunch of different sources.
So we have a question.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Marie. This can be seen by looking up, or you need an assist of some type for it. Go ahead, Jeff. These are all on the project, right? Yeah, these are all on the project.
This is just how they present them. So yeah, if you go to the project, the Zooniverse website, then you can go to
that's here again.
Yeah, you can find this project, which is the Radio Galaxy Zoo, and they'll do this. Now the link for the tutorial video is in there, and
here it is again.
Yep, and there it is again, and it's in the chat, so you can have something clickable. And I would look at that. But yeah, everything that you see here is just all on their website, so you don't need anything.
Yeah, and they'll deliver up a different image for each task that you would see if you went in and tried these as well.
Yeah. So here we go. Another set. Here's a source here, and they've a bunch of radio sources, but this is the only one that's associated with this because these are all separate sources. So there's only one component here, which
so there's a lot to really sink your teeth into with this project. That's cool.
Yeah, and
some were kind of boring.
Yeah. And so selected the galaxy, which is there. It's easy to find with the contour lines. Looks like this one's really far away because the source galaxy is really dim. And then here's another one. Marked the different components, and this one's not. This one off to the side is not one. And
nice to hear. Nice to hear, Marie. You've got a beautiful moon and some stars and planets. Yeah, there were 4 planets out earlier.
Yep. And I just kept going because I was finding interesting things. This is
actually a different. Are they all different ones?
Yes, they're all different.
Okay,
ones.
so
basically, and then here is just a whole galaxy, basically a really close galaxy, no lobes. It just fills the entire screen, and so nothing to really do with that. Yeah, except mark the galaxy because hey, there's the galaxy.
Looks like a galaxy.
Yep. And that's all I have on
got
that.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, this sounds like a really good project. Again, if you like something that's a little bit more involved, a little more sink your teeth into, this would be a great one to do.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, some of these are just like, and it's a little bit boring. But I mean, obviously you're still contributing to the project.
Yeah, it's not counting craters on Mars, which was one of the ones that I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back before Zooniverse existed.
Oh, okay. It's just fascinating the scope of the different projects. I mean, we've had the notebooks from the women computer astronomers back in 100 years ago, and we've had different features on different places. Well, really Mars, right? Mars is the big place that had the features, and I mean, this is like a totally different thing. With
helping to train the AI for spotting terrain, marking photos in a museum.
Yeah, right. That's right. So lots of fun stuff to do out there. So anything else, Jeff?
No.
All right. Well, if you have any more questions, we will field those. But at this point in the show, we usually tell you about some stellar events this week. We're talking about September 17th through September 24th. Again, it's a little bit quiet. We've got Jupiter and the moon are in conjunction tonight. Marie, that's what you're seeing over there with the moon. It's Jupiter, the bright one. Also, Saturn is kind of nearby. Then Venus, probably set for you by now, and here actually. Then we've got on September the 20th, it's the full harvest moon. And also Neptune and the moon are in conjunction. Neptune, harder to see. You're going to need some optical aid. But the moon, always a naked eye object when it's anywhere between 1 day and like the 28th day, like that. When it's a new moon, harder to see unless there's an eclipse. And September 22nd, we are at the equinox. Can you believe it? This year is winding up, folks. September 24th, we are back to our Friday night show. Uranus and the moon are in conjunction that night. Again, moon, naked eye object. Uranus, harder. You're going to need something. But find us on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel every Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific time, 12 midnight Eastern time, and on Saturday in some other places in the world. Thanks, Cliff. Yeah, I knew she was related to you. We loved having you both here with us.
Oh,
very much enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, and just another announcement. It's real close to our anniversary, too. 21 years, folks.
21 years, yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
Not 1 year, 21 years.
21, yeah.
21, yeah.
Yes. She's put up with me for 21 years. Think about that.
They don't know you, though.
I think some of them have a bit of a clue to that.
Yeah, maybe.
If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, September 24th. John Capel,
He's saying congratulations. Thanks, Cliff.
September 24th, John Capel, author of The Art Flame.
And let's get this other comment too clear for change here. Yay! So pretty. Oh, that's so pretty on your deck. Love you too, honey. I'm really so happy to hear that because Ohio, not an easy place to do astronomy. I remember. So we are looking forward to some future guests. We do have Mike Simmons also scheduled. He is one of the founders of Astronomers Without Borders. He will be with us on October the 1st. We're talking to some more people: Daniel Fox, Greg Allison, Tim Pickens, Sherry J, Chelsea Good, and Don Dowdy. If you have more questions, we will find them in the comments and try to answer them for you. Yeah, got that right? Yes, I know. Alrighty, thanks so much for joining us, folks, and we'll see you next week with our guest, John Keppel. Good night. Where is it? You know it's live when. There we go.